right, so today's video, we're watching a Masters 5 support on Xbox. Okay, a Masters game. We don't get too many of those, and on console at that. They say the entire first round of this game, I felt like I wasn't doing anything to help my team and was just being a heal bot. There were some moments where my Suzus were questionable, and that I held my ult for way too long, but I couldn't really figure out when to use my ult, and when I did try, I would end up in spawn before I could use it. It wasn't until the second round that I felt I was doing something to help, but then my team started arguing, and I think that's what might have caused us to lose this game. Well, I think I might lose this game, chat. I'd also like your thoughts on what I could do to improve my gameplay. P.S. I also tend to go DPS support, so that might have caused us to lose. Haha. My take on this, when it comes to like DPS, like when you DPS, I think sometimes people are told that you need to DPS all the time on support, but like your teammates also need to help with that. And you're like, what does that mean? Your teammates need to help with that, okay? Listen, you're the one playing the character, you need to go DPS, right? Well, no, think about it. If your tank or your DPS or your other support have decided that at no point will they stop taking damage, at no point, they're like, you know what? I'm not going to have any positioning. I'm going to take damage 24/7. How can you DPS during that as a Kiriko? Just tell me, like, where's the opening? There isn't, right? If your teammates don't work into that playstyle. So the point I'm making here is that if you ever find that you're stuck on heal bot and Kiriko, it's probably because your teammates are just taking a lot of damage. Like, that's why. So it's like, sometimes in order for you to like get to the play style that you want to or need to on Kiriko, you also need your teammates to play corners, take less chip damage, so that way you can always come back to them and heal them. Obviously, that might improve a little bit with the crit Kiriko one, but yeah. Anyway, sorry. I just wanted to stop with that one. Let's go in here now. Queen's a little bit out of position there, but see, I feel like where your team's positioned right now, like it's not uncommon you're gonna fall over there. Yeah, that's a tough one. Because you can get angled out too easily here. You need somebody else to be on that angle. Nice shot. You need somebody else to be on the angle with you. So if nobody's on that angle, your teammates are gonna get isolated, and they did. So that was a headshot. I mean, that right there was, I feel like your team was a little bit too far up. Or not even far up, like your team was set up. You actually, truthfully, you could have been one of the people set up on the off angle. Now that I see that, because if your queen wants to play there, like your Moira can stay on the side that you were on, and then you go on the other side and you kind of protect that angle, and then you can escape. So I would actually say next time, maybe set up over here, and like be in a spot where you can kind of work with your team a little bit more, and then you have two different angles, and then you can also help with those type of flanks. When everybody's like this, you're just like stuck. So I don't know. You also have the capability of getting out a little bit easier. Like, I know Moira can fade out, but like the Moira doesn't have the perk yet that makes that fade as strong as it can become. So early game, but yeah. Okay, healing your team. This is what I mean, is like, if this keeps happening with your tank, it's gonna be a problem because like your team, no one can help anything. So like at a certain point, you were talking about how maybe you were DPS and caused an issue there, but like, how do you help that? Your queen gets the kills and survives it, so like it worked out, but that's not gonna be on you. So if your queen has that type of position, and then hey, let them do their thing, and if you win, you win. I can't believe the queen got away with that play. By the way, that queen should have fallen over. Okay, there it is. Good timing on that one. Gemstone, thanks for the 20 months of the tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. There we go. Yeah, well, it's like, it's a little bit too aggressive. It needs to be a team effort. So if everybody's not committed to helping with that, that's what's going to happen. How do I know this? I probably have done that before. So, you know? All right, you want to Kitsune this pretty quickly, just to retake map control. So I would say, do it like, go with your queen maybe if you want. Your queen's probably going to ult in a second, so. Okay, a part of the problem I'm seeing here is that, okay, that Kiriko should never Kitsune before you do. And you've had this for a while. So you have two options there, okay? Option A is to ult down the middle. Just ult down the middle of the point and go, hey, you know what? I'm going to ult here. I'm going to ult here. This is what we're going to do. That's how it's going to go. Good to go, right? Or you teleport to your queen on the right-hand side. You flank with your queen ults in, you pop Kitsune, and then now you and the queen are like this, like, huge wrecking squad in the back of the point. You've created the crossfire, you win. But option 3 is what you went with, which is you don't ultimate, you're not sure where you want to go. and then you end up here and you lose the team fight. So next time, I would prefer to see you be a bit more aggressive with that play. Remember, I talk about this a lot. Unless it's like some crazy overtime game or something like that. In ranked especially... Wow, you went flying somewhere. I don't even know where you just went. You're still going. Holy crap. Where? Okay. It's better to win the team fight with all your ults than it is to go, damn, I should have used my ult there. And that felt like that was a moment of I should have used my ult there. Ult down middle towards point now. Right here. You can just do this right now. Your teammates will benefit from that too. Everybody benefits from that. Okay, go back main. Now ult this way again. Ult this way. This will help with the bob. Okay, again. Why are they... You mentioned earlier how like you couldn't find a time to ult. I've seen like a bunch of times. Also, great play by Orion. Wonderful. Again, you notice how the other team is ulting first? And how even though your team looked like they were doing like okay there, your team didn't ult. You have an ultimate that benefits everybody. Kitsune. Kitsune. All right? Like this is like it is simple as your ultimate not only benefits you, it benefits the rest of your team. All right? You said you're so embarrassed right now because everyone's watching your mistakes, XD. It's okay. You're going to watch me play ranked and quick play in about 35 minutes, and you get to watch me do that too. So we can join each other in that embarrassment or just have fun with it, you know? All right, here we go. Yep. That my Genji's amazing? True. But yeah, I mean, right now, you would already have a second Kitsune. Straight up. I mean, you could argue you could maybe be at a third. Yeah, I mean, the enemy Kiriko already does have another Kitsune. I mean, here's the thing, okay? I'm going to kind of talk about it while you're respawning here. I think a lot of people, when they play Kiriko, forget that, like, they don't forget this, but, like, your Kitsune helps everybody, okay? Your cooldowns come up quicker. Your teammates are attacking faster, right? So, like, sometimes you just use it to use it, right? I joke about it all the time when I play Sojourn, right? And Chad saw it. We climbed to top 500 on Sojourn. I can't get a kill with my ultimate. I can't do it. I'll hit every shot without it. Also, you popped your ult a little bit off. Once again, this has been an ult issue. But what I say is, it's not about the Sojourn ult for me now. It's about the voice line. When they hear the Sojourn ult, they start to overreact to it, right? I don't need to get a kill. I just need them to overreact to the ultimate. So that's another thing with Kitsune is if I hear a Kitsune, you bet I'm going to play that a lot differently, right? Like, I'm going to have to react to it in some way that isn't just, like, standing there in the neutral doing nothing, right? So... good retake by the team. Hello, everybody. Hope you're all having good days today. Yeah, your team's kind of... okay. I mean, truthfully, you just gotta track ultimates. Like, you know they have that ultimate coming. Your teammates all play in front. If I can find people to meet me halfway in the middle and I can bob past you, it's not gonna be a good play. So, I want you to think about it this way. If they have a bob and you know they have a bob coming, why just sit there and push into them when you know a bob can go past? Like a bob can go past you. So a lot of people, I think, over push that choke when in reality you just need to make sure they don't get through the choke rather than try to like retake it. If that makes sense. One thing I've learned whenever we watch Kirikos is that one thing's for sure: by the end of this VOD, you're gonna start hitting that Kitsune button straight up. The chain skins in between, true, different one. When am I getting my hair dyed? Probably about around May. Yeah, I gotta give it a little bit of time in between. But yes, we are doing the new, what we said we would do. So, new hair color for the first time in like years. All right, here we go. The not red and orange. I told Chad if we got the 10K subs on Twitch that we would do, I would dye my hair pink and purple combined. I announced that. I said I would, and then 3 days later, they announced support a streamer. And here we are. So. All right. Good point. I mean, team did pretty good there. Nothing really extravagant. You took angles, did a little bit more damage. No problems there. Yeah, I've never had it. I never had the color combo. I know the hairstylist is excited about that too because we've always done the orange and black. So it'll be interesting to see what it's like with that one. Okay. So far, you're doing fine. I mean, you're taking the angles. You're pretty much playing exactly what I expect out of a Kiriko for this part of the map so far. In your shots, being more aggressive with your Suzus, not worrying about your tank, even though you know, it would be good to look at him at times. Trying to help there. I actually don't know what's going on with your tank right now. They're either having a great time or they're not. Okay, based off of what I just saw. Listen, I don't mind the initial part of that, but at a certain point, you need to be ready to get back to your team. And I say that because I was trying to see how long you would go without seeing what your Zarya was at, and I know you have a Moira, but sometimes the Moira is going to run out of resources, and you need to be prepared and ready to be able to help with that. And that was a situation where I felt like you weren't prepared or ready to help with that. You're probably going to, I would say, Kitsune this. I want you to take the corner with Kitsune. Be careful of, remember, track ultimates, though. Your teammate's going to grab the back line, and it's not going to go, okay. Hey, nice cleanse. Block shatter, now you ult. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with this. Yeah, good ult. Perfect. No problem with that. Listen, chat. Could the Kiriko have ulted it later on and like not done that angle? Yes. But why do I like it? Look what the other team had. They had counter ultimates. So like, there's no guarantee that like, if that Juno ult happens and you don't have all these like the Juno ults and they just go aggressive in. Like, there's no guarantee you win that, right? So I'm okay with that. Good TP away. Unfortunately, you had no HP. Your Zarya gets charged off the map, and you go back to spawn. But you said you like doing bright green highlights. The only problem I understand with, like, green is that the way it fades after you dye it is, like... It just doesn't fade as well as other, like, hair dye. That and blue, right? I think. So... that's just, like, your team isn't resetting and you're more focused on... This is a classic thing that happens in Ranked all the time where, like, no one in your team just wants to take the extra second to reset. So you spend the majority of your game just trying to run back to the team fight over and over again, and then you never get on the same page and you farm, like, 8 deaths. And then your teammates go, how do you have so many deaths? And you go, well, we haven't taken a team fight in about 4.5 minutes, and I'm always trying to catch back up. Not my problem. It's like, just wait 2 more seconds and we'll be fine. Just wait 2 more seconds. You know, that's it. That's all I need. Nope. That's your fault. Okay, sounds good. You can put a warm tone over it to color correct once it's faded. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing that color, obviously, because, like, I told chat we would do the purple and pink combo, which will be interesting. I don't know. See how it goes. We'll make it work. All right, I'm gonna say this: Kitsune, when you get it, unless you win the team fight. You win the team fight, do not Kitsune. You don't need Kitsune now. Nice shots. Aim's been looking pretty good. You get the idea of that. Okay, are you ready for this? Do not be afraid to Kitsune this if you need to. If they feel like they're gonna touch the point, just send it. I think you're gonna be fine, so you won't have to make that decision. But if you feel like you need to, I'm not upset with it. Honestly, pop it. Pop that out. I would still recommend popping your Kitsune. Now you can stop popping your Kitsune, but like I think that's too risky not to pop that and just win there. Right? Because there's no guarantee that Juno ultimate is gonna like not kill your team, and there's no guarantee your Widow is gonna hit those shots, and then what ends up happening? What happens, chat? You don't know if you're gonna win it or not, so you pop Kitsune. Uh-huh. And what's the issue here with Kitsune? Right? If you pop that earlier, now you're already 15, maybe 20% on your next ultimate. Instead, you're just starting now. That could be a make or break. That could be the difference between having your ultimate at the right time and being a little bit too far behind. Again, be more proactive with that ultimate, I'm telling you. Broga, thanks for the 5 gifted. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yep. Oh, I mean, their Juno's at what? 55%. Granted, I think the Kiriko will catch up because their teammates died. But, like, point being is, like, yeah, you would have been further ahead on your ultimate. And right now, let's say you're sitting at 60 to 70% on your ult. This is looking a lot more interesting. Remember, you have a tank up there. Just be careful. Tracer, nice shot in the Tracer. Watch out for the random Moira orb. You can win this still. I think your Moira can actually take that team fight. Nice shots on their Moira to like, kind of help with a little bit of that. Honestly, a good play. Good job getting out and reset.
Appreciate
it. Back to spawn you go. Now you're in an interesting spot. You have about 35 seconds to go and you have your ultimate in 20%. Can you build it in time? Will you build it at a good time? Could you have already had it by now? A lot of questions there, huh? There you go. Going for the Tracer.
I've got you.
They chose Orisa shield, so you know there's no javelin spin, which can change how you play against an Orisa. Now, granted, you're going to win the team fight more than likely. Do you see what I'm talking about, though? How, like, that got kind of close there with trying to get your Kitsune in time. Cleanse is fine. Be ready to TP out, though. You have somebody on you. Nice. Use whatever. There you go. But, yeah, do you see that, though? Like, do you see where you ended up being in a very unique spot where it was getting close? Like, there was no guarantee you were going to get that in time. You see that? So, like, that's why I'm saying these moments, these timings can be really important for understanding when you need to pop your ultimates and when you need to not pop your ultimates, etc. And that's what I'm trying to get you out of, like, of holding onto your ult for too long is basically what I'm seeing. So be more proactive with it. It's been a while since we had a Kitsune VOD. But this is one of them. You're doing a lot of good, too. Like, a lot of your plays have been good already, so, like, that's the good news. Have a good attack here. Again, since you're obviously... I know you already said that you lose the game, but hey, maybe you have a close game or something. Remember that video? That was a classic. Okay, here we go.
Come here. I can heal you. Now go get him.
All right, good job. Don't get too distracted by that Sombra. If that Sombra's done, like, just... Yeah, there you go. I think your timings are fine, though. You're good. You're good. Pay attention here. I don't know what perks you picked. Oh, you did the damage one. I've been hearing the crit one's pretty good. Ooh, yeah, that's kind of on you for just not paying attention to that. Did your teammates who are getting mad at your Moira for going 2 DPS? Oh, they didn't see what you were doing. Although I think your DPS has been better on this part. I think the first half, I think you probably struggle with not knowing what to do on defense with the same play. I always just like say it like this: play your defense like you would play attack, outside of having the objective to like push. I think like if you play the same way on both sides of the map, outside of like certain like like obviously setup timings, you're gonna have a good time. A lot of teams, that's what they do. If you get your ultimate, just use it right away. You know that, though. Here it is. Nice Kitsune. Keeping your team alive for now. Nice shot. So far, so good. Ooh. I mean, listen. That was... you didn't use your Suzu, but I don't think a lot of players use their Suzu there. I think you were just feeling it. We all have those moments where you're just feeling it at the time, and you just... You did more than enough there to win the team fight, so you're good. Torvald coming up. Use Torvald as a support ultimate, not as an aggressive ult. A lot of people use it as a aggressive ult. A lot of time you just use it defensively. This is going to be fine for your team. Could have cleansed your teammate. I mean, that was a play that... Again, I think Yeah, you went too deep DPS heavy. And I like, again, I think it's good to do DPS timing. Did they fix the replay crash? And at mid-season patch, they should. You do a good job of, like, doing DPS. Like, you don't have a problem with that. I think, but if you need to recognize the situation where it just, you need to keep your teammate alive there rather than try to kill a Cassidy. That Cassidy is, the way I look at it, that Cassidy has already played a risk-reward play. The only thing you need to do there is just make sure your teammate doesn't die right away. That's it. That Cassidy's already hecked up. That Cassidy is all in on that play. If you just keep your teammate alive, that Cassidy's dead, and you might be looking at a different team fight. I'm not going to guarantee you win that, but that Cassidy already hecked up. If that Cassidy doesn't get the kill right away there, that's it. That is the end of that, like, that whole sequence. If the Cassidy doesn't get that kill, that's it. Like, they're falling over. So, you know, that's one of those situations where you need to think about how that's going. And, like, rather than just, like, fall into, like, oh, I can kill this Cassidy for free, keep your Moira alive, pop your Suzu, boom, your Moira's going to fade out, hopefully away from their team. Now your Moira's alive, now you're alive, now there's more on point to help. Maybe there's enough there and you win the team fight, right? Simple things like that. But I'd prefer that you keep your teammate alive there rather than going for the kill on the Cassidy, because I think the Cassidy goes back to spawn regardless. Yeah. I don't know how many deaths their Sojourn has because there's no scoreboard in the replay viewer. I have no clue. Yeah. I'm on. Yeah, that's kind of just, again, your teammates playing a little bit too aggro. Like, could you have Suzu'd it earlier? Now that I saw that Suzu, yes, but I don't know. Nice shots. Aim's good, by the way. Second perk, they have a second perk. It's a glitch with the replay viewer. I think if I swap players, it will show the second one. See? There it is. It's just a replay bug. Yes, 6v6 comp does come with the mid-season patch today, yes. That will be today. We'll be testing everything out. We have a long stream today, so. Good shots there. Good peel. He's spamming in. Kind of just missed your Suzu. Nothing wrong with that. Again, I do want to point out, though, you get distracted easily by the Sombra. I think you and your Moira need to get on the same page of who's going to deal with that. Because I think, like, if the gameplay is you and the Moira are both dealing with the Sombra, there's a problem there, right? Ideally, your Moira is more up close with, like, your tank, and you are the one dealing with the Sombra and then teleporting into your teammates if it's becoming an issue or you need to heal, right? Not both of you going to the back line trying to DPS the Sombra, because that Sombra's getting infinite value at that point by taking away that much pressure. At this point, you just got to play to live, but they're doing a good job. Their teammate played this very well. Yeah, you have no chance. That's just over. GG's. So, yeah, you know, I think, first of all, just to give you some credit, your aim on Kiriko's great. I think you have the idea of when to damage. You know the projectile speed. You're in a good spot there. But, yeah, the problem that you're running into is, like, you need a Kitsune a lot quicker in these team fights. I want you to really take into account how effective Kitsune is. You said that you don't know when to Kitsune. The answer is yes. Just Kitsune. I'm not saying go Kitsune into your spawn doors on spawning up, but, like, I want you to get in the habit of this. Just Kitsune. And then learn from bad Kitsunes and then taper back rather than be too afraid to use your Kitsune and wonder when you use it. Because the more you use it, okay, the more you use it, the more you'll be able to make those plays and make the adjustments. But if you never use it, you're never going to know if it's a good play or a bad play, right? You need to be able to make those plays. So just start using it more and then be like, okay, that was too aggressive. Okay, that didn't work. But you're probably going to see more positive team fight wins when you use it and when you use it often, okay? Another thing that you do, I mean, you brought up like the bit of awareness. Like, yeah, you're saying like pick up on like the Cassidy flanking again. You know what? I would rather say, rather than even that alone, I want to see your reactions to those flankers better, regardless if it's going to happen or not. Because, again, there was times where you got distracted way too much. The Sombra's gone at a certain point. Like, when you know that Sombra's gone, it shouldn't be, oh, I'm going to chase this Sombra for an extra 5 seconds. It should be, okay, I forgot about my tank for the last 4 seconds. Let's make sure they're good, right? There was multiple times where you just let your tank out, you left your tank out to dry and they fell over, right? And then, you know, take more angles, things like that. But, again, I do want to bring up the point again with doing damage is your teammates are also a part of what enables you to do damage. So again, if you have a Kiriko on your team and you're going, why aren't you DPSing or doing more damage? I read that you need to do more damage as Kiriko. If you're taking a bunch of poke damage, your Kiriko can't ever stop healing you. So you need to have good position too to be able to enable your Kiriko on that one. That's just a side note. All right. But anyway, yeah. Work on what I was talking about. More Kitsunes more frequently. Watch for, like those flanks and have a better reaction to the backline pressure to be more aggressive into your teammates. Don't get distracted too much. A few times you got distracted and that was a part of your problem. You clean that up, you'll see a steady climb. The aim was great. I think that's going to get you a lot higher up on Kiriko also, just having that aim with that. And then as you get better at that, you'll improve. But let's Kitsune. You got this. You absolutely got this. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to all the YouTubes if you haven't, leave a comment. All that helps. You want to submit your own spectating, description below. That's where you do that. We also record these live on stream. You can see the Twitch chat below the webcam, also stream on YouTube. So stop by if you haven't. With that being said, actually, I say we have a lot of fun here. Forgot about that part. With that being said, hope you all have an amazing day / night.